Hello everyone and welcome back to another review. Today I will be doing the brand new SR2 Veresk. Now I gotta say right off the bat, unlike its other currently released weapon, the Mosin Nagant, the SR2 Veresk is a fantastic weapon. It is a ton of fun to use. If nothing else, it's certainly a novel weapon. I didn't think Combat Arms could come up with any more new content to put into the game, any new type of weapon that we really hadn't seen before, or at least much of. I was proven wrong. This weapon is unlike anything that we've really seen before in Combat Arms. I say that only because the only other weapon like it, no one seems to even know about, much less use. So, I'm going to be comparing the SR2 Veresk to the PP2000. Both of these weapons are phenomenal. It is my personal favorite SMG in the game, the PP2000 I mean, so without any further ado, I'm going to dive into the stats of these two fantastic weapons. The SR2 Veresk has a damage of 37. That is ridiculous on an SMG, and it's pretty accurate. Portability of 81 isn't quite up to date with the 90 average that we see around these weapons today, like the Magpul and the VB Barapi, which have portabilities of 90. It is noticeably lower on the SR2 Veresk, but it doesn't hinder you from doing most of the things you'd like to do, and it certainly doesn't hinder you from running around. The rate of fire, however, is the standard 90 that we see today, which is really nice. The accuracy of 67 is also fairly high. It's very good for an SMG, and the recoil is 65, which is surprisingly low for an SMG, although that fits very well with the scope that this weapon has attached. Not many SMGs have pre-attached scopes. This one does, and it's new. We've never seen a scope like this before. If anything, it is most similar to the AUG series, the AUG A1 specifically, which has that little circle in the middle, but this one's still a little different and has some coloring, and the circle in the middle is a little bit bigger. Overall, I think this weapon is very, very wonderful. The damage is very high at close range, but there are some differences between this and the PP2000. So now, heading over to the PP2000, an NX rare SMG that most of you probably have never even used before, let alone heard of. The damage is 36, so also very high for an SMG. The portability is 85, so a little bit above the SR2 Veresk, but still below the average that we see today. The rate of fire is 90, also like the SR2 Veresk, and pretty much up to date with the average. The accuracy is 64, however, which is 3 points below the SR2 Veresk, and the recoil is 64, which is 1 point below the SR2 Veresk as well. So the accuracy loses out to the SR2, but the recoil wins out by 1 point, and the portability is 4 points higher, although you have a 1 point less damage. However, that is where that stands apart. The PP2000 has a much better damage drop-off than the SR2 Veresk. The one downside to the SR2 is that it has quite bad damage drop-off. That is really the only negative that you can find about the weapon, although there are some other oddities that make the weapon a little more difficult to get used to than your average SMG. The PP2000 has a very strange circular recoil pattern. It goes in a perfect circle, and your spread doesn't get very big overall, very easy to control, very low damage drop-off, so you'll be doing very close to 36 damage at maximum range. I spray a little bit here for you, and I do include a clip at the end of it so that you guys can see the recoil pattern of both weapons. The SR2 Veresk, however, has a very strange recoil pattern, unlike anything we've ever seen before. Basically, it goes perfectly straight, a little bit of up and down, but almost perfectly straight spray of bullets for the first 10 shots exactly, and then the last 10 shots just go crazy from side to side. It's like you turn on a switch and your gun just starts going all over the place. Like, it's worse than P90 recoil in scope once you started spraying a lot of bullets, so it's very inaccurate past that point. The way to use this weapon is to spray in bursts of about 7 to 8 shots. You should be able to control the recoil that way, and at most ranges, 7 to 8 shots is enough to kill a person anyway. Spraying it outside of scope is also fairly easy. It's not much worse than the PP2000. Once again, the clip at the end of this, you get to see them sprayed side by side, both in and out of scope, crouched and standing, and moving and jumping. So all that together, you'll see that the SR2 Veresk doesn't have that much more recoil than the PP2000. That being said, I do find that the PP2K is a better weapon than the SR2 Veresk, but if you're looking forward to having the PP2K, the SR2 Veresk is about as close as you can come and get it for permanent. Do I recommend this weapon? Absolutely. What am I going to give it? Oh, probably about a 7 to 8.5 out of 10. Haven't really decided yet. It is an excellent weapon either way. I definitely recommend getting it if you are a fan of the PP2000 or you like that sort of low recoil, very fast fire rate weapon. In my opinion, it does trump the Magpul at closest range, but at longer ranges, the Magpul is going to win against it, so if you just look at it that way, it depends on how close you are planning on taking the fight. If you can get super close to them, the damage of 37 is going to rip through them faster than they'll be able to pull out their weapon, but if you're at longer ranges, it might not be the weapon to use. I would only bring it to maps in which you intend to engage in a lot of close quarters combat kind of perspectives, so if you're going to be doing a lot of those kind of fights, then it's a good idea to bring the weapon with you. Otherwise, bring something else looks like an assault rifle. Unlike the PP2000, which can even excel at medium ranges, the SR2 Veresk does not exactly excel at that. Also, it doesn't seem to be so much of a headshot machine as the PP2000. PP2000 recoil is designed to give you a lot of headshots. The SR2 Veresk is not. It is designed for a lot of body shots, so please get used to seeing that if you decide to buy the weapon and give it a shot. Overall, thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure to go check out the Mosin Nagant review so I can convince you not to buy the weapon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadolance out.